I just would love to see freaking Chucky like get close to Peter and go like, "Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the Chucky and slashed the out."
And then Spider-Man hooks him with his web, and he freaking spins him around.
Oh, yes.
They're here.
What's going on, guys, gals, children of all ages, over 16, of course? It's your boy Brad and Bert here, the Brett Man, if you will, with Goodwill Hunting. Goodwill Haunting, I should say, for 2020. Goodwill Haunting 2020. So we wanted to come at you today with a video. And what we're doing in today's video is we're taking horror icons and we're matching them up in the comic book universe, whether that's Marvel, DC, whatever it is, you name it. We're going to throw them in there. No rules. We're going to go ahead and do that. This video, of course, the idea of this video, it was suggested by my brother Eric. Quick shout out for you there. And I thought it was a pretty cool idea. Another opportunity to get our creative juices flowing. So we can do whatever. There's no, like I said, there's no rules. You could put Aquaman and Jaws together. You could put freaking Alien and some kind of alien hero together. The Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever. It doesn't really matter. We can put it all together and we can tear it up. And I'm excited about it. You excited about it, Brett?
Hey, dude, every time you could just combine my two favorite genres of like the superheroes and the horror genre, just mix them both together, just gets me super jacked up and I'm ready to go. Goodwill Haunting 2020. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, dude. It's gonna be awesome, dude. Okay, so what we'll do, like I said, no rules, and I'm going to start things off. So what I have a matchup here. It's going to involve your boy, Freddy Krueger, okay, with the claws and everything, and he's going to be matched up against Batman, Bruce Wayne himself. And I think, obviously it kind of gives you a little bit of Scarecrow vibes, that matchup, but I wanted to go ahead and get into it. I think it'd be perfect. And what I would do if I were to put Batman and Freddy Krueger against each other, I would have, I mean, you could put Freddy, you could throw him up in Gotham or whatever. You could bring, maybe Batman goes on a little weekend trip down to Elm Street. Whatever happens. It doesn't really matter. But how I would start things off is I would have a series of suicides, if you will. It generates Batman's interest. They're not suicides, ladies and gentlemen. It's Freddy killing people in their dreams. They're marked up as suicides, okay, and that's what we're getting to. So Batman's like, "Yeah, what the heck's going on here?" He's like, "All right, let me go ahead and investigate this," because he is the detective after all. You get him involved. He starts falling on. It's a really dark little cat and mouse thing. You're like, okay, so this guy, he's dead, okay, and you get Batman in there, and he's kind of figuring things out over the course of the movie. And people keep kind of dying in weird ways.
Like the claw marks on their bodies.
Yeah, claw marks and things like that. It's kind of getting unique. It's weird. It's definitely, it's extraordinary, if you will. And Batman's interest is there. He's on his heels, and it kind of goes to like, you can kind of see it progress. He investigates a couple of deaths. He goes from there, and then kind of Freddy's starting to pick up that Batman's on his heels. Freddy Krueger's starting to invade Bruce Wayne's dreams, and he's in town, like he's investigating the thing. He's got his gadgets and stuff, and he starts to figure out like maybe they duke it out in the dream sesh. He's got his gadgets and stuff in the air, and like he's throwing his bat wings over there, the boomerang things.
The batarangs.
The batarangs, yes, that's what I was looking for. He's throwing them out there. He's like, what the heck? He's just freaking absorbing these things or whatever Freddy does, and it's like, okay, this isn't working. But he starts to develop a plan. Like he realizes, kind of like Nancy did in Nightmare on Elm Street, that you take something out, it brings Freddy into the real world. So they have a couple, two, three different dream session battles where it's like he's really playing into to Bruce's fears during all this, like this his parents being murdered, kind of like Scarecrow. I know it's kind of a ripoff of Scarecrow, but it's what I think it would be cool to see them in Freddy's Dreamland, and with Batman with all of his gadgets and tools and things like that, just freaking trying to figure out what's going on. And then he finally brings Freddy out, and they just freaking have. I mean, Freddy versus Jason style. They have a nice battle. Eventually, I mean, once you get Freddy out in the real world, I think Batman kicks his ass. I mean, I think it'd be really cool. It'd be dark. You get to see some detective elements out of Batman, out of Bruce, kind of like they're hinting for in the new Batman movie. And I just think it'd be cool to see those two duke it out, for sure. What do you think about that?
Dude, I'm already digging the idea already. You have the world's greatest detective against the ultimate nightmare. And again, yes, it's similar to the Scarecrow, but to me, Freddy Krueger is a much darker villain than the Scarecrow. And I would just, again, love the matchup and love to see the detective work to bring Freddy Krueger out of the dream world. And shoot, take my money. I'm up for that.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think you'd have a nice investigation period at the beginning where Batman's trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
And probably
And
thinking the Joker's behind it.
yeah, you could think the Joker's behind it, Scarecrow maybe broke out, whatever. He's like, what's going on here? And then eventually, like, Freddy starts showing up in his dreams, and he realizes that the dream world is his real world. If he dies there, like he's getting injuries or whatever in there, and he keeps waking up, and he's like, this is getting weird. And you also get a chance there to kind of dive into Bruce Wayne's kind of character as well, where he's experiencing the dreams, and he's trying to you get a little behind the scenes action, and then eventually it leads out to a full out brawl between Batman and Freddy out in the real world, and I think that'd be fun to see.
Shoot, and I actually thought about this idea. You know how he's like Batman's investigating like the murders and all that?
Yeah,
What if those people getting murder were actually the famous villains like Two-Face and Penguin
there you
and
go. There
all
you
that
go.
because they're getting affected by their nightmares too.
Yeah, that would be cool if he starts digging on the villains and stuff. I think that would be pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
it'd definitely be different.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I think it'd be a nice matchup. I think they really go hand in hand together.
Dude, absolutely. Hopefully mine could top off that. Like, gosh almighty, we starting off on a high right there. Should I go ahead and go with my pick?
Go it out, throw it out there, my friend.
Shoot. Okay. So my pick is going to be the Punisher going into fight Jason Voorhees. And just let me clarify, we're not doing a human Jason Voorhees because human form Jason Voorhees will absolutely get killed with one shot with the freaking AK-47 from or whatever weapon Punisher decides to use. So we're going to go with the zombie form for, I would say, part 7 Jason, because to me he looks the coolest form of the zombie mode. And how I would start off this movie is, Punisher just doing his usual stick, fighting thugs and fighting crime and, maintaining the peace. And he does, he's on this like big, like, I wouldn't say it's like a mission, but like more of an investigation, trying to hunt down like this big, like crime organization. And he gets to this like one warehouse, like, downtown, and he's, killing everybody, just being Punisher. And he gets one of the grunts and goes, "Where is your all secret hideout? I know you all have one." And then finally the grunt finally confesses, like, "Okay, we're in a camping ground. We just figure it's just isolated as an abandoned camp, and it's called Camp Blood." And he goes, "Appreciate it." Bam, kills the grunt. And then he goes to Camp Crystal Lake, which again, that's just the first act. Then the second act is when he gets to Camp Crystal Lake, trying to hunt down the organization and all there. And he realizes along his search, he's finding dead grunts everywhere. And he's like, "Oh, okay, this is something's going on here." And he keeps looking, and then he finally finds like the big boss leader along with like the boss leaders like three top goons, and Punisher's like, y'all coming with me. And just as he's about to get him, then that's when the power will go out. And then you hear like more screams outside of Grunts dying. And then they realize, like, unpopular opinion, but they have to work together to fight this unknown threat. And then late part of the second act, they're trying to investigate of what's going on, and the three big grunt henchmen are dying and all that. Then you get to the third act when Jason Voorhees is finally revealed, and he kills like the big boss man. That's when the reveal will happen between Jason and the Punisher, and then they just duke it out with Punisher just blasting away, blowing up cabins with Jason in it. Jason's, just keep on marching. And then he finally realizes, well, I can't shoot down this guy. I'm going to have to maybe drown him. And so he, drowns, tries to do some plot of putting him in the water, and then that'll just be the end of it. And Punisher walks away the victor. Or so he thinks.
I like it. That's a good matchup. I think you get a lot of the Punisher's specialities, and you go off against Jason, and nothing really seems to be working, and he just goes on to the next trick and the next trick, and it just, I think it'd be cool. Violence meeting violence, if you will, and I think that would be fun to see.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Do you want to go with some of our honorable mentions real quick before we wrap this video up?
Absolutely. What you got?
All right. Some honorable mentions I have. I would do Batman versus Jigsaw in the Saw world, because I would think that would be a great matchup. Batman thinking at first he thinks it's the Riddler, and he realizes, well, no, the Riddler's never this dark with his acts of riddles and puzzles and all that. And so he uses his detective work to hunt down Jigsaw, and then he beats him up, and that'd be the end of that.
That'd be sweet. So mine, I would put Pennywise, the dancing clown, against Doctor Strange. Pennywise versus Doctor Strange. And the reason being is I think they both kind of operate in alternate realms, and I think it'd be kind of cool to see them duke it out, because you would have Doctor Strange going into Pennywise's, like, he, not necessarily the clown itself, but the figure it. You would have him going into his, kind of where he goes between Pennywise and everything else. You know what I mean? They could duke it out in that alternate reality there, that alternate realm, if you will, and I think that'd be kind of cool. And you would see Pennywise like shift into different things, and Doctor Strange kind of going along with that with his skills and whatnot. And I think that'd be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pennywise turned into a big old thing of hands, because that's what Doctor Strange. One of his biggest fears was him losing his hands. That'd be pretty cool. And then like you got Chucky, okay, versus the Ant-Man. Okay, and what you do is you get Chucky. This is totally a joke, ladies and gentlemen. But you get Chucky. He gets controls of Ant-Man's abilities, and he becomes Big Chucky. And you get freaking Ant-Man and him duking it out. And I think that would be something that would be. I'd pay to see it. Dude, just Chucky, just making fun of Godzilla while he's in that big mode. So my last honorable mention, just while we are just keep on doing this, it would be Captain America versus the Predator. The reason for that is you got the greatest soldier on Earth versus the greatest soldier in the outer space. Just duking it out. And they could duke it out in the city or in the jungle or just pretty much anywhere. It'd just be great to see how Captain America can defeat the Predator.
That'd be fun to see. I'd like to see that. You could put Captain America against anybody and it'd be a win.
Exactly. Especially, like, you can even do Captain America versus Alien and see if that acid can melt the vibranium. That would be interesting.
Bingo was his name-o. I think that's probably all we got at this point. You don't have anything else?
No, those were my honorable mentions. So with that in mind, we would love to hear your all's interesting matchups between comic book heroes versus the villains in the horror genre. So be sure to leave your recommendations below in that comment section, and we would love to get that discussion rolling.
Heck yeah, we would. As always, like the channel, subscribe. We're going to be on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Letterboxd, you name it, we're on it. Comment down below, please. We would love to hear your matchups, and we'll have a discussion about it. And ring the bell somewhere that's there, and we'll have a good time going forward. We got some good stuff coming out this month, and we can't wait to get into it.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for Good Real Haunting 2020, and we will see you next time.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Hasta la vista, baby.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.